Okay, we are into our health now. So take out your health books, page 71. And hopefully you remember some of the things that you talked about yesterday with our teeth. Which teeth grind our food? The molars, which is perfect because they're at the very back. So they're grinding up that food into the smallest parts possible before we have to swallow it. What parts of our teeth cut? What are they called? The incisors. Incisors cut. What part of our teeth? Sorry, she's doing her thing. What part of our teeth, which of our teeth, wait, tear our food? The cuspids. Remember that first one, the cuspids, right after our incisors are our cuspids, and then the bicuspids tear and crush, but the molars are the grinders. Okay, good. Then we know that we have baby teeth. What are our baby teeth called? They're called primary teeth. And then we have our permanent teeth. And our permanent teeth are our adult teeth that we get. What are we trying to prevent, and what happens to our teeth when we eat too much sugar? We end up getting that sticky film of plaque, and we get cavities, and cavities are not good things. You know, if you've ever had them, you have to get them filled. It's not fun. So we want to take good care of our teeth so we don't end up having to deal with cavities. Well, today, so we talked about our teeth. We talked about our hair yesterday. But today we're going to talk about now your eyes and your ears. The skin that protects your eyes needs to be washed every day. Close your eyes, but not too tightly. So not scrunching them, just close them. Then gently wash around your eyes using a washcloth, soap, and warm water. This will prevent styes or sores from forming on the edges of your eyelids. If you've ever had a little stye, it is not very fun. It's just a little bump that forms on your eyelid, and it kind of just gets very invasive, and it doesn't always hurt, but it's just very annoying. I remember having one, and it was so close to my eye that it felt like something was in my eye all day long. So we want to prevent those things from happening. So wash well with soap and warm water. Be sure you wash the corners of your eyes too, where you get the eye boogers. We know those, you know the little eye boogers that we get in the middle here. We want to wash those out of the corner of our eyes as well. Because your eyes grow and change, you should have regular eye examinations to see if you might need glasses. So as you grow and as you go through life, you may not have needed glasses last year, but this year it may be a need. Your eyes change, so you need to go to the doctor and have your eyes examined. Signs of eye trouble include squinting when you're doing this to see, holding books or handheld devices close to your eyes. I can't read this, I can't. And then being bothered by bright light. Oh, it's so bright in here. Those are signs that you might be having eye trouble, and you might need to go get your eyes checked at a doctor. If you have one or more of those signs, you could have just one. If it's squinting even, that's a sign. If you have one or more of those signs of poor eyesight, you may need to have your eyes examined by an optometrist. So remember, optic nerve, optical illusions are illusions for your eyes. So optometrist is an eye doctor, a doctor who examines eyes. However, it is better to have regular examinations every year or two than to wait until there's a problem. Because once you notice the problem, it could have been, fixed before that problem became more. If poor vision is not discovered early, it can cause you to fall behind in your schoolwork because you're not seeing well, and then you're not learning what you need to, and then you end up falling behind. Not discovering a problem early may also cause permanent damage to your vision. So if you don't get your eyes checked regularly, it could cause a problem that may not be reversible, or it could cause worse problems. Sometimes there's a disease or something that could be in your eye that your family needs to know about. So get your eyes checked as much as possible. and as soon as possible, especially when you notice some problems right away. Your ears. God designed your ears to take care of themselves. However, can you stop? However, if an earache does not improve after a couple of days, your parents will probably take you to a doctor. And we talked about this a couple days ago when we talked about our ear infections and things. When you go to the doctor for your regular checkup, he may decide to remove wax from your ears. Only a doctor should do this. If you stick anything in your ears, you could puncture or damage your eardrum, causing pain and hearing loss. So many times we think, oh, I'm just going to put a Q-tip in there, but that's not the best thing to do, because Q-tips, the cotton could get stuck in that wax, and also you could push it too far down and puncture your eardrums. Now, this does not mean that, you're at home and your mom says, okay, here, clean your ears with this, Q-tip, and you swat the Q-tips. No, Miss Monroe said no more Q-tips in this house. No, please do not do that. That is so not necessary. It's just to give you a warning. You have to be careful of putting anything in your ear. One of the things, I think I told you this earlier in the year, maybe when we were doing science, but you should not put anything smaller than your elbow in your ear. Well, you can't even get your elbow in your ear, so just don't put anything in your ear. Wash it with warm water, and wash it out with warm water, and that's it. You have to be very careful of putting things in there, because things could get stuck, or you could damage your eardrum if you push it in too far, and sometimes we're not always aware of that. Health habits in public. Everyone likes to go to the park to play or to the store for new clothes. It's hard to go to either of those places, but parks are still, some of them, open. When you go to public places, you may come in contact with many germs. In a place where many people touch the same things, germs can easily spread. It is important for you to know how to protect yourself against these germs. When you are in public, touch only the things you need to. This is such a great lesson for this time. We just are so trusting, so we just put our hands on everything and we touch everything. Try to touch only the things you need to. For example, if you are buying something, it is not necessary for you to lean against or touch the counter. There are germs many times on the counter. Do you see how the little girl is standing like that, looking at her ice cream and maybe touching the screen, or the screen? It's a screen. Touching the glass and touching the, usually the metal countertop or whatever. It's not necessary for you to lean against or touch the counter. If you simply stand beside it, you will be less likely to pick up any germs from it. If you do not need to touch them, do not touch them. That is going to protect you from germs. And this is so good going forward, because of they are saying this, this disease and many other diseases, they don't go away just because there's a vaccine or something. They are still there. So it's just a matter of learning to do things differently. And this is a chance to learn those important things. So if you don't need to touch something, that's why I say, be careful with our hands on the walls at certain places and in school, and we're putting, on the door or whatever. When a bunch of other people have touched that, there's germs that we want to be careful. We don't see them, but we need to be careful. But you will be less likely to pick up any germs if you stay away. The same goes for walls. Like I told you, we put our hands on the wall sometimes at school, and other kids have done that, and they've, and you just never know. You just never know. And handrails. We kind of go up and down the stairs, and, we're in the escalators, and we're holding on, and we're sliding our hands down, and then all the germs from all of the people that have been before us. Now, I don't want you to go around and go, I can't touch anything. I'm just going to hold my hands up and walk down and go down the escalator, and no, you don't have to be that crazy. But you do want to be aware. If you don't have to, and touch it the least amount, that you can. You need to hold on to some things, but maybe just not slide your whole hand down and grip and hold and whatever. So if you do need to hold the handrail for safety, you can always sanitize your hands later. It's totally fine. Bring hand sanitizer with you when you can find it again. But bring it with you, or, ask mom for some. Sometimes there are things that you cannot avoid touching. But if you are diligent to wash your hands, you should be fine. And guess what? This book was written way before the coronavirus. So washing hands should have already been a thing that we should already have been doing. But now we're being more aware. So make sure to wash your hands, wash them well. If you are touching things, because you might have to touch a handrail or you might have to touch a countertop or something, then sanitize your hands after. So think about it at the bottom. List some healthy habits you can have in public, which we just read, not touching and how to handle things, and write those down. What are your favorite places to visit in your town? The library, the zoo? As long as you are aware of the healthy habits you should have in public, there is no need to worry about harmful germs. Be sure to wash your hands before you eat or as soon as you get home. Do your best to take care of the body that God has given you. And that's all that he wants, is for you to just take care of it to the best of your ability. So these are some habits that we need to work on. How do we take care of our hair? How do we take care of our teeth? How do we take care of our eyes? How do we take care of our ears? And then what can we do when we're in public places to protect ourselves from more germs? And what a great time to talk about something like that. So you're going to answer the comprehension check on page 73. Remember, you don't have to send it to me. I'll go over the answers on Monday when we do our next videos for health. Okay? All right, so do well on this. Have a wonderful rest of your day. See ya.